FNAF tier list. Just the canonic games. We'll go.
Let's go.
What do you mean, let's go? Should we add an F tier? It feels because I feel like there is F tier FNAF games, right?
Not really.
No. All right. I will make an executive decision then, though. We're gonna name D tier Spring Crap.
Green crack.
Spring Crap. There we go. Spring Crap. That feels right.
Spring Crap.
S tier can be Scott Cawthon tier list. Just Scott, the Scott tier. Ultimate Custom Night. What are we thinking for that?
Ultimate Custom. It's basically FNAF. I want to say 4, but you could customize it.
It's FNAF on crack.
It is.
You know
it really
the lore in this one, right?
No, I don't.
This is just William Afton's Hell. You play as him in Hell. That's it.
I want to say it's good, but it's like really hard.
It's meant to be hard. It's basically the Dark Souls of FNAF.
Basically. And also,
If you actually like play like FNAF 1 in there,
your mic
just like the
dropped
weird
out.
games.
Your mic sounded weird for a second.
Really?
He said you're pretty much playing FNAF 1 in there.
Yeah.
No, what I'm trying to say, like, if you play like those characters, like you choose those characters, the FNAF 1 versions of challenges, all of those, they're really cool.
Yeah.
And they made really good memories.
It is definitely one, though, that is not like a FNAF game people enjoy playing when they go on a FNAF milestone or like rerunning all the games. It's one I definitely don't look forward to.
Yeah.
I think it's like a B tier FNAF game. What would you guys?
I
Yeah,
would
B
also
tier.
say B tier. Yeah.
Solid
We're
B
all in
tier.
a unanimous agree. Okay.
Next one's
Into the Pit.
This is basically the most free roam FNAF game out of all of them. And it's really hardly a FNAF game. It's kind of like just a story game, really. It's
So
like
kind of
cool.
like a story-based Telltale game.
kind of, but it's not Decisions Matter though. It's just a pixelated adventure one. It's kind of an RPG. I loved it. I played it. I loved it. It is a lot of fun, but it's not really a FNAF game because there's FNAF animatronics and everything, but you're not really, I wouldn't say you're really fighting them, even though you are, because, you know, they try and kill you and stuff. It's mainly one, and it's Springtrap. It's like the Springtrap character. That's it. The story's interesting, but it really doesn't matter. And I don't know canonically where this even fits in the story. Like if this happened before or after, or where it is in the timeline. I'll have to watch.
I'd
Uh,
probably, like, if guessing based off what I've seen, I'd probably say it's before Afton murdered the multiple children he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
it's
I would say like
I think it's an A tier FNAF game, but I'm very open to where if you think it's a Scott FNAF game. Because here's the thing, you're not in first person like every other one. In every other one, you're in a first person perspective. This is the only one where you're not.
I personally think it's a nice change from the FNAF we all know and love,
I would be very open to more games like it.
but it's too big of a jump. It's hype what it is. If you break it down to its core elements, it's still a pretty good game. It's just lacking in some departments.
Right.
So I'm personally gonna say high B.
High B? What do you think,
Maybe.
Alex?
well, from hearing like from everything and seeing a bits and pieces of it, it's a really cool game, and I gotta admit it's a really cool game. I love all the graphics, all the bits and pieces, and I've seen like a little bit of the story and how it went down, and I would say it's like a solid A.
You're on
Solid
A.
A.
I love that. Yeah,
It's
I
a
liked
low
it.
A. We'll say like it's a low A tier. So we'll
Low
put it
A.
towards the bottom. Security breach. Oh boy.
Security bug, you mean?
Yeah, security bug and security not really loved at all compared to how it was at launch. When this game first came out, everyone liked it, but once they started playing it more and they started adding more, no one really thought it was a good FNAF game. Because this was a bigger jump than Into the Pit, except Into the Pit worked and Security Breach didn't.
It really didn't.
Security Breach is like the multiverses of the FNAF games. Like, on paper it's a good idea, but when it came out, no one really liked it. I don't even fully know the story in this one. I couldn't have been bothered. I played it as well. I didn't like it. I really didn't.
So like, there's multiple endings, and it's kind of like you build your own stuff.
Here's the thing though. This felt more like Poppy's playtime than Five Nights at Freddy's, I'd say.
It really did. It did. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. I watch my favorite YouTubers play it. I love how when they play FNAF. This game was just so boring, just so uninteresting.
And
So I think
Even
can
all the exciting parts was just like, ooh yeah, for a couple of seconds, and then it's like, yeah, okay, and that gets boring. So I would say Big D,
Spring crap.
Spring Crap.
big double D, Spring
Here's
Crap.
the thing though, it's not a bad game on its own 2 feet, but it has the Five Nights at Freddy's name attached to it, and it is considered a canon game in the story. So I think with that, it really loses its value because it really brought the genre to one of its lowest, I think.
Exactly. It is single-handedly dragging the genre down.
It wasn't even that scary. It had scary moments. The jump scares were okay, but I think as like a scary horror game it's supposed to be, it really fell flat.
Not to mention
Yeah.
the story really fell flat.
I didn't understand the story at all. I couldn't get into it at all.
Like, how did the kid even get trapped there in the first place?
The FNAF story as a whole is confusing, but I think this is the one that made it that confusing.
Yeah, the books
Yeah.
tie it together really well. And then this came out, and it fucked everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I watched Patpat and I heard that that apparently he's like a robot that's learning to be human. Which is very confusing because like all the endings that they have
Right.
like give it like different nations. Like sometimes like he's like living outside, he's like a homeless kid,
Mm-hmm.
and other times he's like a very evil mastermind, and Vanessa is just
Right.
it's just very confusing.
So we're all unanimous on high Spring Crap, high D.
Yeah, high spring crap.
Yeah. Very spring crap.
All right, next one is FNAF 1, the first one.
That's why
Do
he's
we
the
even
GOAT.
have to talk about?
It's the GOAT. We all know where this goes.
Yes.
It's the thing that started everything.
It is the spark
It
to the
is.
rising inferno.
I liked this one a lot because this is one of the first games of its time that did something that it did where you're completely on the defensive. But what's it called? Oh yeah. After playing this in VR, I played FNAF 1 in VR and Help Wanted. They're freaking huge and they are scary. They're a lot bigger than they look in the actual game. They are huge.
So we're applying
Yeah.
One Piece universe logic here.
Pretty much, yeah. In the first game, they look about the same size as you. In VR, they are ginormous.
Right, just admit you're short.
Shut up.
It was the FNAF 1 is one of the games that I literally got terrified. I had to play with someone in the room with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I played this by myself, I would just like close the game, not play it at all after like one jump scare.
Right. So you both think it's an S tier, a Scott tier?
Scotty, yes.
Yes, it's definitely a Scotty.
I think it's a low Scotty because I think out of all the FNAF games, this one is like the third or second most scariest. Because I think there's definitely
Yeah, it's the
pretty
first game. It's the first game.
It is the
course.
first, but you know, series can only be judged as good as they are in all their games. When you look at the first one, sometimes it did start it, but was it the best out of what it was trying to do?
Can I ask a question real quick?
Sure.
Why is Help Wanted after Help 2? Can we like swap the two?
We're getting ahead. Stop it. You're skipping ahead. Next is Help Wanted 2. This one was buggier than Security Breach. This game was very bad because they added and took out so much compared to the first Help Wanted. I didn't play too much of it because I didn't even own it. I had to play it at a friend's house. And I think anyone in their right mind is going to get Help Wanted 1 over this one. This one only has a few sister location nights, the Security Breach nights and animatronics and stuff, and a few other stuff I didn't get to fully do. But it was so buggy, and I was playing on a modern day Quest at the time, a Quest 3, and holy crap, it was buggy. This game did not run at all.
That sounds like pain.
Did y'all ever see videos on it?
I've seen
did,
videos on it.
and it's basically just a bunch of mini games.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: the game is fine. It should definitely be lower price for what it's offering, what little it's offering.
It should
But
run better for what it's offering.
And I don't think it's a spring crap though. I think this is somewhere we could put our. Well, maybe it's a spring crap. I don't know. What do you?
I'm
guys
gonna say a
think?
high spring crap.
High spring crack. It's better. It's better than.
It's better than
It's better than-
Breach, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
It
right.
is
Yeah.
Two.
Ew,
A fan
I love this.
favorite.
I love this game. I love it.
I
I
think
love this
out
game,
of all
too.
of them, this is the most fun one. And this one is
I
like
love-
playing a Dark Souls game because you have to pay attention so much.
Personally, I love the new mechanics with the vents and everything. I also love the mask mechanic that you have to do with Foxy.
Well, wasn't this
And-
the first one that included the
Uh,
vents?
Let me choose
Yes.
wrong one, not Foxy.
Wrong. Oh, my bad.
It's everything else but Foxy.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta burn Foxy's retinas out with a laser pointer. That's right.
I think
This is
it
my
also-
second favorite game.
Didn't this one also bring one of the most important animatronics, the marionette? Isn't
The
she-
marionette,
Yeah.
yup.
Isn't she the most important in the whole story?
The
Yeah.
most.
Yeah. I think out of scares, this one had the fastest jump scares, if I remember right. Because I think the jump scares lasted like 800 milliseconds, I think, or something like that. They were very short and quick, but they were also some of the loudest.
Yeah, and and it overwhelms you like very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think out of all of them, this is one I enjoy playing a lot on my own, and I think it's fun. And I think canonically, like this one does somewhat happen towards the beginning of the storyline, right? This is one of the first, right, in the timeline.
Yeah.
Because this is in the past.
Not really.
Not really, but it's kind of like the third game in the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
No, what I'm saying is it's pretty far in the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it's like in the very far, but it's not really that old in the story.
I'll put a photo on the video of the actual Patpat timeline of the and Scott timeline of the FNAF games. We'll do
Yeah.
that later. But where would you guys rank this in the Five Nights at Freddy?
I'd rank it a very high, Scotty.
A very high, Scotty? I liked it more than the first
I
one.
would.
I definitely liked it more than the first.
Do we agree on a very high, Scotty?
I think so.
I would say so.
Yeah. I'd say mid
All right.
Scotty because I feel like there's a FNAF game that could go above it in like the highest Scotty, but we'll get to that.
My favorite game's gonna go higher than this.
All
All right, FNAF 3,
FNAF 3. This is the end of the timeline, right?
I think.
'Cause this is in
No.
the future.
Yeah. I don't.
Wait, no. This is before.
This is before the pizzeria thing.
Yeah,
Pizzeria
this is right before that. Like this is right next to it. This is next to last.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I have a very unpopular opinion about this one. I liked it a lot because they introduced a new mechanic which I don't think has been done before in really any other horror game, where in all the other ones you're keeping them away, but in this one you have to physically keep him away, and
You have the maintenance too.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
the maintenance, yeah, and he is constantly coming your way, and it's your job to keep him far away. Well, in the other ones, they can come to you, and you can't keep them away. It's just about them avoiding you. This one, you have to make sure he stays away at all times. I like this one a lot, and I know a lot of people don't, because out of all of them, it is pretty boring and lackluster. I know.
Yeah, I would say it's like low B.
You'd say low B?
Yeah.
Demetrius, what do you think of FNAF 3?
FNAF 3. I personally liked it. I know it was before Security Breach. I don't like the fact that it wasn't like normal. It was keep your sanity up.
No, it was keeping him away. Your sanity wasn't the main concern.
Oh, okay.
There is no sanity either.
Well, no, it's basically if you keep getting jump scared, your ventilation goes out more, and he keeps getting closer faster. So you just basically
Yeah.
don't lose air, pretty much.
Bro,
Out
I've
of
seen
Yeah,
all
but I
of
say
them,
it's
this is
low
definitely
B.
the most boring one. I think it's the most boring.
Low B, maybe C.
You'd say C.
low C.
Low. You know what I was gonna say, boys? I was gonna say this one was on the same tier as Into the Pit. I was gonna say A tier.
A tier?
Nah.
No.
Low A.
No. The scariest this game can get is quite literally when you see him walking by the window and then you activate your ventilation and he just turns around.
Yeah, I think this one definitely has like some of the weakest jump scares.
Weakest jump scares, very boring gameplay.
This is also the first FNAF we got where you could see them physically move.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that has to count for something. Would you guys be okay with a high B?
I'd be okay with some low B.
Low B.
All right, I'll concede low B for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Deserves a
Okay.
high
Here
C.
comes my favorite, my
Five
absolute
Nights
favorite.
at Freddy's 4.
Or
This is the one where you're in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
yes, house when you're in the bedroom.
I
I
like how.
love this game so much.
All right, you
I
take
really like this game. I'm not gonna lie.
Alex. You take the lead on this one. What do you think of Five Nights at Freddy's 4?
Okay, I loved all the mechanics. I'm not gonna lie. Running towards the doors, you have to listen to the doors to make sure like there's no breathing. They're not near you, so they don't jump scare you.
Mm-hmm.
Freddy, how like the little Freddy babies behind you. There's Fredbear, Nightmare, and all of those. It's just so great. And it's especially the mini game for Plush
Claptrap.
Trap.
What was his
Plush
name?
Trap.
I said
Plush Trap.
Claptrap. That's the wrong game.
Claptrap.
But yeah, it's very good. I love the lore to it.
Mm-hmm.
It gives a lot of like insight about the Crying Child's like life, how it's been with his brother, just his brother mostly.
This is the one that explains the Afton family and like how the
Yeah.
curse originated, right?
Yeah, it is.
Kinda, yeah.
We still don't know how the mom died.
That was never explained, was it?
No, it
I
wasn't.
don't think so. People
We
just
need an
said like car
explanation,
crash.
Afton.
And I
I think people said like
also,
it's car crash.
is this one of the only FNAF games where you don't see William Afton at all, or even really references to him?
Yeah.
Hmm.
This is mostly FNAF 4. Basically, is just his
It's about Michael.
imagination.
This one's mainly about
Oh,
Michael Afton as well.
No, this is basically Crying Child's imagination. Him in the hospital.
Yeah. And one other thing I noticed when I first played this game, the entire game is mirroring the first. You've got the doors on both sides. You've got Foxy behind the curtains, and you've got Freddy who can get behind you in the office. This whole game is mirroring the first one, but a lot more scary. I think this one may be, I'd say it's the second scariest out of all of them, personally.
I'd have to say I agree with that.
Yeah, the one thing I actually loved most was the Fredbear to Nightmare part of the last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
This
me
was-
personally, I say hi, Scotty.
I think this is the first and only FNAF game where you're required to listen. Because in the first game, you can listen for footsteps. In the second, you could listen for vents. Same with the third. This is the only one where no matter what, at every door and behind everything, you need to listen. You're going to be playing at max volume so you can hear the breathing. And you get it wrong. You get the loudest jump scare ever. I think this
Yeah, it's a high risk.
I think this is the pinnacle for FNAF games, I think. I like it
yeah.
a lot.
This and the simulator,
The simulator? What do you mean?
pizzeria simulator.
Oh, right, Pizzeria Simulator. But I think this is the pinnacle. This is the scariest one. The second
Yes,
scariest
yes.
out of all of them.
Hi, Scotty. I ain't taking nothing else.
I agree with Hi Scotty.
Same.
I personally really like this one.
Alright. I think this next one may be our first C tier, unless you guys disagree. Five Nights at Freddy's 5
actually-
sister location.
Okay,
I
personally,
mean, it's alright.
I'm gonna admit, I'm a sucker for this game. I fucking loved it.
You liked it?
I
Makes
loved
sense.
it.
I understand.
I
I can see how you can love it.
I really loved the color scheme, the improved 3D graphics, and the entire layout of this one. It is also first in the timeline, right? This is the first. This starts.
Yep,
is the
this
start.
is technically the first.
Okay. I think this one though, lacked in a lot. Like, mechanics, I think it had too many, and scares, I think they were very lackluster.
I mean, they were, but the
This is
story
one
made
where
up
the
for
jump
it.
scares started to fall. Like, they started to get less and less scary, I think.
Okay, yes, but it also introduced a whole bunch of lore, and the story was good.
The story was good. The lore dumb,
And
I like to
it
call
was
it.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was
They
pretty funny
introduced
too.
a lot of lore in this one. And I think it works, but I think out of all of these FNAF games, this is the one I never want to play whenever I'm like going down the list of FNAF games. I don't look forward to this one.
This is
I
the
like
one.
this game.
This is the lone one that I 100%ed on Xbox
Oh, is
achievements. Yes.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's impressive.
Where would
I'm
you
not gonna lie, that's
personally
really
rank it,
impressive.
Demetrius?
I love it, but I do see its shortcomings, so I'd have to rank it a very medium A. I'd have to say medium A.
Medium A. I was gonna say
I
like
say mid B.
I was gonna say high C. So
What
I
the
think
difference, high B?
to split
High
the
B.
difference, we would say like low B, I think. Because
No.
I
Low B?
think I will say I enjoyed FNAF 3 a lot more than this one, and FNAF 3 was 10 times shorter, but I felt more action and adrenaline in that one than I did in this one.
What? More
What?
action? More
More?
than
Dude,
sister
you're literally
location?
crawling through the enclosures,
That
making
was
sure you don't get
the only
freaking-
part of that game of Sister Location that I really
Marionette
thought was
marionette
scary.
suit. The marionette suit. part.
Marionette Pursuit.
Again, this one was more action centered. This is like the Resident Evil 6 of Five Nights at Freddy's games. It's good, but it's sometimes too much, I think. I think it's trying to be more than what it is. Cuz think about it like this. If we got FNAF 3 after Sister Location, I think you would like FNAF 3 more.
Nah,
Nah.
not really. I say sister location's better than 3.
That's a fair point.
But do we say it's better than Ultimate Custom Night?
Absolutely.
No,
No, absolutely not.
absolutely not.
Ultimate Custom
So
Night
it
was
goes
really
between
good,
them.
and the
Middle-
lore was a
middle,
lot more
maybe.
simple and fun. I like the lore in Ultimate Custom Night a lot more.
All right,
So
let's move on.
So we're gonna settle it and say it's low B.
Medium low B. Yes.
Mid.
I don't feel comfortable putting it in front of FNAF 3 because I swear you two are just riding the hate wagon train of FNAF 3.
Dude, I played
I played
3
FNAF
so many
3.
times.
It
I
was
could not
alright.
find anything. I could not find anything that was like amazing or good about it. It was just
Dude,
it was just so
half the
boring.
Half
The
the
mechanics
time
are
you're just
cool.
rebooting systems. It's annoying.
Exactly.
All right, fine. I'll put it in front of Sister Location, but I don't feel good about it personally.
Mechanics are cool. Yeah, I get it. It's a cool concept, but here's the thing: not much happens. All the phantoms, they don't kill you, so I wouldn't say pretty easy, but it's still kind of easy.
This
And
is-
the jump scares for FNAF 3 are just like so terrible. Just come on, just
This
walks
is-
up to you like.
Don't forget, this is also the game where we see Springtrap be born. Like we see the transformation of Springtrap. Don't forget that. And that's a FNAF moment of history right there.
Yes.
I mean, ugh.
Yeah, but doesn't mean that makes it all okay.
Think about it like this. FNAF
Yeah.
4 had the Bite of 83. FNAF 2 had the Marionette. FNAF 1 had the Doors. FNAF 3 has the
Here's the
birth of
thing.
Springtrap. Spring Sister
Here's
Location
the
doesn't
thing.
have anything historic apart from Baby.
Here's the thing.
Baby,
Don't
and
bring
also the
FNAF
thing
4.
that makes him immortal. Gotta
Don't
remember
bring FNAF 4 into this. FNAF 4 is the bite and is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
FNAF 2, again, the vents, everything, it's all very, and it overwhelms you, so it's a great game too, so you can't say anything about it. FNAF 1, The Born, the first game, you can't say shit about that.
So so you won't concede with me in putting FNAF 3 in front of Sister Location.
No, because again, Sister Location has more gameplay. I get it that Springtrap was born, but it doesn't mean it's like automatically better.
And Springtrap is, you can't deny this, is one of the best characters in the entire franchise. Springtrap is super cool.
Okay, but here's the thing. Sister Location technically had 2 endings.
That's true. Okay, yeah, all right, you win me. You win, fine. I'll give you that one.
That's what I thought.
You've changed my mind. Now, we go on to my personal favorite, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted.
I've never played it. I've watched a lot of it. I really like it.
This is, in my opinion, the scariest, because you can actually see everything.
Not to mention, it's so scary, man. I played it once.
I've never played a game where I was physically shaking and scared.
It is so scary. It's beautiful. It's a masterpiece. Because the sounds it makes, it's psychological horror mixed with physical horror.
Alex, what were you gonna say?
I'm gonna be so honest. I played Help Wanted on my friend's Quest VR headset.
Mm-hmm.
I played FNAF 1 like all the nights. Dude, I was scared the entire time. No matter what I was doing, I started the night, I was still scared.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so terrifying.
I think this is the best Five Nights at Freddy's game in front of Five Nights at Freddy's 4, personally.
I would personally like to.
Because here's the thing, Five Nights at Freddy's 4, you can't really play with an audience, but I'm telling you, you get yourself a VR headset, put it on the TV in the living room, you play the game, everyone's gonna enjoy watching you suffer.
Oh yeah.
Would you guys want it in front of FNAF 4 or just behind it?
Just behind, I'm fine with.
Just behind.
Fine.
All right.
I'm fine with either. It's a beautiful game. It's masterfully done.
And finally, Pizzeria Simulator, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Never played it.
Another great
I do not have a
game.
stake in this game.
It's free on Steam, Demetrius. You can play it.
No.
Alright.
I refuse.
This is the one that ended the series in the timeline, right? There's nothing after this, right? In the timeline, there's nothing after, right?
Unless they decide to change it, no.
Yeah.
Hold on. I believe Security Breach is after.
It's after this?
Security Breach 1 and 2. Yeah.
Alright.
Security Breach is built on the ruins of FNAF.
There's a security
that's
breach.
true. That's true.
But Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator, aka FNAF 6, it mixes elements from Ultimate Custom Night and Sister Location.
It's a very good game.
It's a really good game when you're playing the night shift and you're interviewing the animatronics. But that takes a minute to get to.
The simulator part is really good too. I like
it, but I'm just personally I'm not a big fan of like simulator games like that. I get why it's popular and I get why people like it, but personally, for a FNAF game, I think that should be separate. I think I should be able to play FNAF 6 for the horror, which it does have, but I don't think I want to build up in what's it called, a simulation. Because here's the thing as well, you have to buy certain animatronics in order for some of them to even show up.
I mean, yeah, but it's not like it's like difficult.
You know what else is not difficult? The interviews with the animatronics. They're not that difficult.
Yeah.
I think that's like the only scary part that I'd say.
But I think the interrogations could have been better. I think they kind of held back a bit.
Because I lied. I was thinking back through my memories. I was like, oh yeah, there are snippets on YouTube that I watched. But it was only the interviews.
Right. Where would you put this one, Alex? FNAF
Me
6?
Personally, I would put it in front of FNAF 2.
Really? You think it's a Scotty tier FNAF game?
Dude.
Either in front of FNAF 2 or behind FNAF 1.
You think it's a Scotty game?
I think it's a Scotty game.
I was gonna say low B. I think this is the most B FNAF game ever. I don't think it's perfect, but I think the way it closes the series is very good, I think.
But here's the thing. Fire scene.
Not really a scene more than it is JPEGs, but sure.
Yeah, but the speech.
Connection terminated.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
If you even remember that name.
What were you gonna say, Alex?
Gotta admit, the scene was immaculate.
Okay.
All the animatronics burning, every single one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just perfect.
I don't think the things this game offers is enough for a Scotty tier. I don't even think it's enough to be on the same tier as Into the Pit.
Okay, you know what? You're right.
Because here's the thing,
Actually, you're
it
right.
has the same elements from Sister Location and Ultimate Custom Night, but dumbed down to fit the free price tag that it has. So I think it deserves a low B or a high C. I'm fine with Demetrius. What do you still think it is?
see the drink. I want to say C tier because based off what I'm hearing alone, it sounds like a pretty C tier game.
Alex, what do you still think it's a Scott tier FNAF game?
You know what? I'll let it be at C.
C.
I enjoyed the game so much, but
It's like a war zone. It's like the war zone of FNAF games. It's very free, but you get very limited stuff for what you get.
Yeah.
Because once you unlock everything, it still feels like not enough. You don't get so much with it.
You don't really feel fulfilled.
Yeah, I don't feel fulfilled. I think
How about
this is not a game they should have ended the series on. I think that if it was just the interrogation scenes and then some of the night shift stuff, I feel like if they added more like they did in Sister Location, that would have been a good way to end the series. Because here's the thing, it's free, it's a simulation game, and it's stealing elements from its other games that don't fully work. It feels like they weren't even trying to end the series, they just wanted to take it off the table and say we're not going to add anything after this.
personal opinion, I think it's a Scotty tier. But if both of you say it's like a C tier,
I was
I
saying
guess
a low
it's a
B.
C tier. Low B, I'll take a low B. I'm not gonna lie to you.
'Cause
Take a low B.
I think because it takes elements from Ultimate Custom Night and Sister Location, I think it belongs on the same tier as them.
I mean, Sister Location, no. Okay, yeah, definite B.
Alright, so low B, like the lowest possible B, probably.
The lowest, like, put it all the way over here, B.
There's our FNAF tier list. The FNAF canonic games. If we missed one, cry about it. I was not going to look up any more images of these games to make this.
We do not care.
Hold on. Hear me out.